in on each other here.
So we're back with another political cadence, and I hope you enjoy the way that we've evolved the intro video. We've added a little bit of more current events to that recently. The one depiction is the incident that happened on the bridge. I think we talked about that last time with Mike Hilbig, Aaron.
Yeah. But, when I said, does anybody in town call it the Roebling Bridge, or do you just call it the Suspension Bridge still?
Yeah. Well, all over the news, it's Roebling.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they make an initiative to name something, usually after a corporate entity.
Well, it had been named that for a long, long time, but nobody called it that.
No, yeah,
right.
Yeah. I'm mixing my comparisons there, but the media is forcing you to call it Roebling Bridge now. Let's put it that way. It's in the zeitgeist now. It's not just, where it might have been colloquial to say the Suspension Bridge, and still may be. When you watch the news, it's the Roebling Bridge.
And honestly, we don't actually mention the bridge that much.
Right.
So,
But that's, I do remember us covering it because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But Will, you missed last time, but we're really happy to have you back now.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hopeful that things are improving. Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to work. It's what not your particular case, but the job situation is another thing I have in my notes for this week. So we're going to cover. Last week was a little bit different, so we really covered foreign affairs, and we had Mike Hilbig, and Mike may come back for some more episodes moving forward. He couldn't make it this week, but we talked a lot about Gaza, Israel, the genocide that's happening in Gaza, and the way that human aid is being used basically to bait people or Palestinians into being annihilated, trying to get their to their aid. All that stuff is terrible. We're complicit in that, but we're going to bring it back to the domestic sphere a little bit more this week. We haven't really got into Epstein the way that a lot of these political shows do, talking about his, just diving deep into it and trying to determine the level of participation of the president and people like Mike Johnson and others, others in the that may or may not be in the Epstein files. A lot of that is conjecture, but man, there's a lot of smoke.
People are conjecturing Mike Johnson's in there.
Yeah, Mike Johnson. Who else?
Wouldn't he have to tell his son?
That's right. He would have to. His son
might be in it with him.
Yeah, maybe they're
complicit. Maybe that's
each
why.
other.
I don't buy that Mike Johnson's in there personally, but I do buy that Mike Johnson's in on the cover up.
And the cover up may be the biggest crime of all.
Oh yeah,
that's really what brought down Nixon, right?
And here's my thing, and this is where I might be evil in some people's estimations, but I'm just going to say this flat out on Political Cadence. I don't necessarily think Trump was, stooping children. I don't, because I feel like some of those children, those trafficked children, would have come out and said him, because he's kind of high profile.
Yeah,
okay,
and nobody's got a lot of non-disclosure
about
lawyers
Trump specifically. Well, so what? Okay, what are they going to do? Kill me so I don't get $1,000? Woo woo, or $100,000? Woo woo. If I was trafficked and Trump raped me, who was 16 years old or 15 years old, because it is considered rape. And it's also kidnapping and trafficking, because I would have been taken to another state, another country, another, county. Even county is considered trafficking. So, if Trump had been stooping 16-year-olds, I think they would have come forward. At least one or two.
He said on Howard Stern he wouldn't go as young as 12.
That's right. That's what he said on Howard Stern.
Well, but I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
You got to think about it this way, though. Why would somebody go to the lengths he's done? wouldn't it have been much more expedient, much easier for him to have just come in and then the 90 days or 20 days or whatever, release the Epstein files.
Yeah.
The entirety of his campaign. There would have to be some really compelling reason.
They could have redacted immediately.
Not to release those.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we know he's on the flights a minimum of 7 times, right?
Right.
Right.
Okay.
We know Epstein was on his plane too.
They did have people that were over 18 who were trained. I'm just going to say. Those 17-year-olds that they kidnapped over the years, they became 18 and 19 and 20 and 21.
That makes it better?
I'm not saying that makes it better, but they're not children. Okay? So I'm not saying that. I'm not defending him about that part. But as far as the pedophilia goes, because a lot of people are saying pedophilia, and I don't think that he was guilty of pedophilia.
I absolutely think he was guilty.
I think he's absolutely
Absolutely.
guilty of pedophilia.
Because why would you
feel like they'd have come forward?
Well, the thing is, you take a look at how Trump's been handling this, as well as his acolytes. First it was, Democrats are on the list, and we're like, okay, fine.
Yeah, we're okay with that. Yeah,
fine.
Get them too.
There's one 13-year-old came forward and named Trump and Epstein in a suit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In that case, never mind.
There was the Trump's biographer, Michael Wolff, that attested to seeing photographs of Trump with minors, multiple minors, in sexual situations. We'll just say, messy sexual situations. We'll say, but. And there's also, I can't think of the woman's name.
Well, then why didn't you tell me that last night so I didn't say this now?
Damn, do you know how much shit we got to fucking cover? I can't sit and
I was saying I didn't think he was a pedophile.
Okay,
and now
kids,
you're
play
listing
nicely
all
or I'll
the
pull you out
pedophile
of the
shit.
sandbox.
Huh?
Play nicely or I'll pull you out of the sandbox.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, is there a place to share links in here?
The
Do we
bottom
have
line
a chat?
is, if
I believe you, you don't have to share a link. I don't need you to show.
No, I would like to be able to share
because I
links,
believe in you.
well, my whole thing is, if Trump wasn't on the
Court
list,
docs are in there.
why in the hell is he going this damn far, along with his acolytes, to keep the list from being released? Which releasing the Epstein files was a part of his platform.
Right.
Exactly. No, I agree that he's on the list, but I didn't know that everyone on the list had to be a pedophile. So never mind. I said never mind.
What does he do?
To take a look at how the MLK files were released, but yet nobody even asked for them.
Yeah.
Right. JFK, RFK, everything that was dead in the water and really.
I thought, I'll feed the conspiracy people this, and nobody blinked, nobody.
But what's he do every time that?
Yeah, we're looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, here's a snack.
Right. But
here's a snack you didn't want.
What's he do every time they ask him about it? Who have these press conferences where have 90% of the people that are in the audience actually posing as press people, lobbing him softball questions about his tariffs and how good ICE is doing, and false reports on jobs and stuff like that. And then there'll be like 2 reporters that will come
every
out
couple days. A good question will get through. Yeah.
And what's he saying? Oh, what? I don't know nothing about that. I know nothing.
Why are you still talking about Epstein?
They got a meeting.
Didn't you know Obama cheated on the election?
Right.
And I'm like, really? You were an insurrectionist.
He's got perfect health, and yet all of a sudden he's deaf. But
he tried to interfere with the Georgia elections as well.
Right.
Wanting 11,000 more votes in his favor, and they were like, no.
Right. He tried to do that post-election 2020.
Yeah.
But here's a video that's kind of indicative of what we're talking about from this week.
Both very good.
Mr. President.
The two Kevins, very good.
Mr. President, is Vice President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
Is he working on what?
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
I saw it reported today, and it's completely fake news. We're not meeting to talk about the Epstein situation, and I think the reporter who reported it needs to get better sources.
Look, the whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats because we've had the most successful 6 months in the history of our country, and that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit. Okay? Yeah, please.
So there you go. Terrible audio on that. But what it was is they were going to hold this. Everybody knew it was leaked that they were going to have this big powwow so they could get together and try to come up with, when you create a gigantic lie, you got to get everybody involved in the lie in a room and pulling in the same direction. And this is what this meeting was going to be. When it got leaked, J.D. Vance got defensive, and Trump, lobbed the ball over to him, deflected any kind of responsibility for it. And Vance just said, "Oh, it's you got to get better media sources. That's not what we're meeting about at all." And then, like an hour after that conference, Vance goes, the whole thing is canceled. It's canceled all of a sudden. So it's pretty obvious what happened there.
And it's not the first time Vance has done something like that.
Right. And
You take a look at the situation when Vladimir Zelensky was in the Oval Office, and how Vance just viciously attacked the guy.
Yeah.
So
Right,
I think that was his job, though.
Then we have the other Vance controversy that popped up. Was that the Little Miami River? He had part of Caesars Creek Lake diverted into it. So
Yeah,
he could kayak on his birthday.
A family outing on his birthday, I guess. Yeah, and he wanted better conditions for his boat trip, so he had the entire. But Vance takes his lead from Trump. He hasn't always been so assertive and bold, and so as he has been under the protection of the president.
I have to wonder, though, if they're not trying to push him forward a little because of the recent health issues.
Well, that could be.
I mean, CHF is nothing to laugh at, and he is over. He's like 80 basically. I mean, I know he's not yet, or did he turn 80 or 79?
79, but still, he's not too far. He's not too much younger than Biden.
Right.
And he's starting to show.
Yeah.
And the thing is, at least Biden can make a plausible sentence, whereas Trump, he just throws whatever words comes to mind.
Right.
He's bombastic, that's for sure.
Well, in that clip, didn't you notice how it seems like every time there is one of these MAGA victories or some sort of bogus Supreme Court decision, they must be going and hanging another piece of gold on the wall for each, like a little award for each fucking thing that they feel like they're achieving, because that place is starting to look like fucking,
crap.
Like
Persian Palace,
like a Vegas lounge.
Yeah, the Persian Palace, perfect. And that going along with
considering that they concreted the Rose Garden, and now he's adding this ballroom, which is going to cost us taxpayers more billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear that donor. He was going to lean heavily on donors for that.
Bullshit.
For that money,
people
but
that buy him.
Who knows?
Yeah,
a lot of gold.
Donors get things if they donate to him.
Right. One way or another, it's coming out of our pocket.
Right.
But yeah. So we're off to a fiery start here. I think.
We're 15 minutes in. What's on the agenda?
Okay. At the tail end of the last episode, he was in Scotland. He was still in Scotland, hadn't come home. I love that clip, and I got it, but I didn't make a presentation of it. Where he's trying to speak in Scotland, and the bagpipes are playing over him. You can't hear a word he said.
They hate him over there. They really do.
Yeah. He's not in Europe. Yeah.
He is persona non gratis.
Yeah. And so Elon Musk is still, there's the surface feud that he has going with Trump and everything. And he talked about having his own party recently, but all that shit's kind of gone by the wayside. Trump or Musk is still donating to the regime, and he's still steeply involved with the Republican Party. What exactly? A couple weeks ago, Aaron, you called me and asked me to see if I could get the Starlink, and it was down.
Yeah,
I couldn't get to it.
it was
Unfortunately
down for about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
And that was when Musk shut down Starlink to foil a Ukrainian offensive, I think.
that's what it was. I was asking you for clarification. I'm not sure what the reason was. Only that, if you depend on that service,
came out like days later that's what it was.
Right.
And yeah, I during my work day, it's half a fucking day.
Right. So if you're depending on that service, be forewarned that you may have your service interrupted for
at a
political
whim.
reasons.
Yeah.
At a whim, yeah.
Happened to me.
He's still getting incredible governmental breaks,
Yeah, I'm paying him $120 a month for the privilege.
Right. I've even heard Trump recently say that he was a good guy that just had a bad moment. And so that whole relationship is mercurial, but people should keep in mind that he's still extremely influential because of the money, and that he's a loose cannon, and anything can happen with that guy. With that guy having that much influence. But,
Trump's already threatened him if he starts donating to Democrats.
Right. But don't you feel like somebody may have got to him?
What's he going to do if he does? Was he threatened?
Trump he could put tariffs on electric vehicles. He can do all kinds of.
Okay.
Well,
there's all kinds of EV regulations. They already rolled back the tax breaks. That's what pissed him off to begin with.
He could send ICE to his house.
He could deport
him if he wants.
Actually, that's what Trump threatened him with.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the thing is, right now, you're seeing less and less Teslas on the road now. Because you take a look at their stocks, they're just
right. Well, even though their stock is down, their board of directors got together and decided to give Musk, I don't know, some sort of multi-billion-dollar bonus.
$26 billion.
Yeah.
Why?
It's mystifying. It's mystifying. I don't know why.
Nobody knows.
I would like. I floated the idea of here we are, about 6 months into the regime, or over 6 months, over halfway through the first year, not the first half, but the first year of the regime. I thought it would be, since he's our employee, right? President of the United States is an employee of the citizens of the United States, that it might be nice for us to do a report
performance
card.
Review. Yeah.
Performance review. Performance review. Exactly.
Okay, before you get started, I want to talk about something.
Okay.
I was talking to a Skyline waitress the other day, and she was talking about how excited she was about the no taxes on tips thing. And I was like, oh, you make over $100,000. And she's like, no. And I said, yeah, that's only for people who make over $100,000. And I said, it's available online. You can read the big, beautiful bill.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she goes, really? And I said, yeah. And she's like, oh.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling she regrets something she did, like vote.
Well.
Well, that's why I've been saying for the longest time, you knew what you were getting going into the election. So voter regret is something you do not get anymore. Discard and reshuffle.
Right.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
That's kind of the way I look at it.
I mean, I don't know if for sure. She may have just unhappy, about it. But it was like, oh, everything else is awful, but at least I'll get this. Well, you won't.
Well, I feel like there's a huge percentage, maybe 20, 25%. that might be a little high, but people that voted for Trump that are no longer loyal to Trump, and now we're led around by about 32% of the country.
Because the no tax on tips things, they are going to start calling corporate bonuses for executives tips. People, tips. So that's for people who they get a $26 million bonus. He won't have to pay taxes on it.
There's a cap on that tax on tips too, right? Once you reach a certain amount, then you're actually, isn't that the case?
Yeah. Well,
What?
The deal is that if you make under 150, let's see,
Is it under 100 or 150?
No,
I knew it was something up there.
You get to deduct up to $25,000 of reported tip income.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make over 150,000, you deduct less than that, and if you make 400,000, you deduct zero. And if you're married filing jointly, those numbers are 300,000 instead of 150,000, and 550 instead of 400.
Okay.
So, like your average waitress who makes $20,000 a year before tips would actually qualify to use that.
Yeah, she gets to deduct up to $25,000 of her tips.
Yeah.
So she literally gets to deduct everything from. Okay, so no tax on tips does apply to her. Never mind. I had it wrong.
All right, so here we go.
Mm-hmm.
During his interview for the job, Mr. Trump made some promises that we're going to review now that the probationary period has ended.
Are we going back to the big beautiful wall?
No, we're not going back to 2016. He got fired once, and then he got re-entered into the position. So let's go over some of the
shining
things.
sea.
What's that?
It was going to go from sea to shining sea.
Well, we're taking to both of his administrations separately. We weren't on the air when he finished in 2020. Unfortunately, I think it would have been good.
So this is just Trump Mark II.
Mark II, right? So okay, during the campaign, he said he was going to end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours. So, what score out of 0 to 5? What would you give him on, or give Mr. Trump on that?
0.
It's a donut.
0.
0. Okay, so that's not a good score. He's going to have to do a lot better. He's going to have to score like 4s for the rest of the way just to get an average score. But anyway.
Well, the thing is with the war in Ukraine, Trump has to get it through his skull that Putin is playing him like a violin.
Right.
He's playing.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think Trump's own ego can allow him to come to that conclusion.
No.
Well, Putin knows all he has to do is make a phone call or reach out to Trump in order to reignite any
flatter him a little bit, and
and
remind him of what dirt he has on Trump.
Yeah, the PR tapes or whatever. I'll never forget the look on Trump's face after that first Putin meeting when he came out from behind closed doors and they'd sent the translators away, and he looked like he saw a ghost.
Yeah, I remember you commenting on that before, Aaron. What do you think that look on his face was?
I have no idea. Terror.
Like he had been schooled?
Yeah.
Basically,
maybe Russia has the Epstein files with
I don't know what they have.
Basically, what happened in that meeting was Putin told Trump in no uncertain terms, know your role and stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Probably pictures of, vantage points.
Probably pictures of him. Yeah, exactly.
But a man like Trump, if it'd be a mixture of fear and admiration for his antagonist, his nemesis. It only makes him love him more.
Yeah, because the fact that beloved leaders got to save face somehow.
Yeah. So now he waits by the phone like the guy who's had a first date, waiting for the call back from the girl. And when he gets one, he sends him into flights of fancy. But okay, here's a second item that Trump talked about during the campaign, in the war in Gaza in 24 hours. How did that one go? What do you think?
0.
0?
Because now Trump wants to make it Trump Gaza.
Now he's
Right.
involved us too. Yeah. Now we've sent bombers.
Well, I mean, okay, so we could cut him some slack in that he didn't get the 24 hours. Maybe that was an ambitious
Okay, you want a 1?
window. But what about, I mean, is he even working towards a resolution? Do you get any credit for that?
I don't think he is.
Uh,
I think
okay,
basically,
so we zeroing
because-
out on this.
yeah, because take a look at what he's doing against these colleges for quote unquote anti-Semitism. He's now holding millions and billions of dollars from these colleges for research and everything.
Right.
Because
Right, it's-
he's in step with Netanyahu.
Mm-hmm.
And the bombing. We can't forget the bombing.
No.
That was Palestine, right?
Yep.
And that it's hard. It's a hard sell to say that was an action in the interest of peace. I know that.
Or acceptable in any
I know
way.
that the
the other
Republicans
thing is,
framed
too,
it like.
The other thing is too, Phil, these people have been going to these U.S.-backed food sites just to be shot and killed. Why hasn't Trump come out and say anything against it?
Right. Mm-hmm.
He wants them cleared out of there.
Mhm.
He said
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And that's why Netanyahu earlier this week decided, you know what? I'm going to let the Israeli military take over Gaza.
Yeah. Yep. I read that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think he's really actively. You could say he wants peace, but there are terms to the peace that Trump wants there, and they're pretty obvious. So,
Well, there's one thing that Trump does understand: war sells. Because take a look at how Germany, the UK, and France are all starting to pull back on providing weapons to Israel now,
yeah,
compared to the US.
right. So release the Epstein files. How's he done on that? I mean, that was something that every damn bro podcast.
He didn't
Negative
promise that.
5.
Okay, Aaron, he
Oh,
didn't promise
he
that.
didn't?
There's a good.
Okay.
There's
Oh,
maybe,
never mind then.
maybe
Yeah.
give me some money.
Still
But
negative 5.
he said perhaps he would, but he doesn't know because there's a lot of innocent people in there that could be hurt.
Okay, so
Innocent people.
He did. There's a lot of funny stuff in there. There's a lot of funny stuff in them Epstein files.
Yeah, that's that interview where I think it was on
Yeah.
Fox where they said, "Would you release the JFK files?" Yes. Would you release MLK files? Yes. Would you release the Epstein files?
Okay.
I think I would. I think I would, but maybe not.
Right. One of us has got to develop a Trump imitation. Every one of these podcasts has somebody that does the Trump, but I can't do it.
No.
I could, but
I don't
I'd
wanna
have
hear
to
it.
take a shower afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd all lose respect for you if you did.
Well, the
Not me.
way he grunts out words and stuff, it's you'd almost have to be
It's
sitting on the
so
toilet to be
you
able to do it
specific.
right. So,
Yeah, when he's really
Yeah.
pissed off.
Is that with
But,
or without the diaper?
yeah, right. So, Aaron, are you giving him a crooked number then? I mean,
And he was really pissed off at Colin Kaepernick. Remember that? These sons of
Right.
bitches.
Well,
he had all
take a
kinds of
look at
venom for
Stephen
the NFL
Colbert.
players.
Yeah.
Um,
Lots happened since we've seen Will last for sure.
I'm going to say it's
Oh.
it's not it's a fair question of whether or not
No worries.
grading him on the Epstein files is fair or not, I guess. But I feel
Ah.
like it was such a big part of everybody around it. They were so certain.
It was the promises that he didn't keep. Then yeah, we gotta
Promises
at
made,
least put an
promises not
asterisk on
kept.
it. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, well, if he
He-
didn't say
he-
he would, then
he half
it's not a
promised.
promise.
let's give him a 1.
Well, he said he would, and then he backtracked right
Okay.
away.
Mhm. Once he found out from Pam Bondi that he wasn't
No, I
on
mean,
the list.
It didn't even. It was. No, in a second.
It's
He's
not
like,
really a permit.
he's like, I think I would, but maybe not. Maybe not. There's a lot of innocent people in there that their lives could be destroyed.
Well, his timeline on shit is way off track. I mean, if you try to follow the bouncing ball with Trump, you're going to get vertigo or whatever. You're going to get a problem because apparently
all the Epstein
if
capture and prison stuff happened on his watch. That's the thing that's really biting.
Right, and he keeps trying to suggest that it's Biden, it's Obama, it's Hillary Clinton. You know, everything is dumped back on administration that really had nothing to do with that.
And it's,
I love the tariffs he hates the most. Who made that deal? You.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think they call it taco?
Well, let's give him 1 point on that, on the Epstein files, out of deference to maybe he didn't exactly commit to it, which really doesn't speak well for him anyway. Because
that's not much better. You just want to give him a point. Okay.
I give him half a point.
Half a point. So I'll give him a point. So
far he's got half a point.
He's got 3/4 of a point. Let's give him a point. Fuck it.
Everything else is 0.
But it's an aggregate of what we all have come to.
Okay.
You know, if we were to do the
Aaron's
math,
giving
am I
him
supposed to be
1
keeping a
point.
score
You're
here?
giving him half.
Will's giving him half, and I'll give him a point. What do you give him?
I guess 1.
All right, so we're
maybe 1 because he didn't really point.
I give him no credit at all.
I don't think it should count. If he didn't actually say he was going to do it.
Well, it's on the form.
Over and
it's
over
on the
again.
Form. I can't do anything about it. It's
then
on the form.
I'm going to say 0.
Okay.
Or 5. I don't know which one makes more sense with that.
Well, how about this one is pretty general, but I do think that during the campaign, he did suggest he was going to stimulate the economy, right?
Well, he stimulated it all right.
The price of eggs was going to come down.
Stuck its fist right up its ass.
He said the price of eggs was going to come down.
Okay. Then 0.
The price of gas was going to come down.
Price of gas.
0. But the whole thing is the economy. I'm going to say it again. The economy had very little to do with the price of eggs. The price of eggs problem started because of the bird flu.
But he was going to lower it.
Yeah, he was going to lower it on day
one. Regardless of the economy.
Yeah, he was going to lower it.
The technicality was, did he promise?
He was going to lower the price of everything. That's a fail. A 100% fail. 0, 0, 0.
Prescription drugs, 1,500% off.
0, 0, 0.
That's right.
But he didn't make that promise until after. That was not during the job interview.
They were going to pay us hundreds of dollars to come pick up our Met.
He was making that before too.
Oh, okay.
Where he pops all the different percents.
0.
500%, 600%,
0.
1,500%.
0.
So
0.
We're about halfway through the review here.
He won't touch Medicare.
Right.
I mean
0.
Medicaid.
Big ass 0.
Security.
Okay, keep going.
We're about halfway through. So what? Well, maybe this is better for after. Maybe this would be better for after we're done with the review to find out what did he. Because I hear this constantly. Look at all he's done. He's done so much. Look at everything he's done.
What? That hasn't been reversed.
He's terrorized people of foreign descent.
Yeah. So we'll look at that.
He's done a real good job.
When we come up with our final number here, then we'll come and say, is there anything that we can?
He's real good at incarcerating people.
Yeah.
He's real good at stirring up racist and xenophobic rhetoric.
Created Alcatraz. But how about we go through this list? Because Philip needs to go through this list. And I know somebody's having fun.
No, our listeners are expecting this review.
Aaron.
Are expecting this review. So. Job growth.
0. He himself eliminated a lot of jobs.
Let's hear Will's take.
Well, you guys were cutting out, so I really didn't get to hear much.
Your take. Trump's promise for job growth. What's
0.
your grade for that?
0. Because you take a
look at
collaboration.
I'm going to give him a -2.
I'll give you 2 examples. Take a look at the unemployment in Ohio alone. And I touched on this with Lisa earlier. The fact that during the pandemic, the highest unemployment rate then was 4.9. Now it stands at 5.1.
Mhm.
The highest
Yeah.
in Ohio.
It's at a 15-year high right
Yes.
now.
And you
Mhm.
take a look at the unemployment rate in California now. At one point, we were down to like, what was it, 2.6, 2.5, something like that. And now it's jumped to 4.4.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
And also, we're talking about the firing of Erica McCantifer, I guess is the best way. She's the Bureau of Labor and Statistics Commissioner. But she's only the spokesman. I mean, she's the boss, I guess. There are hundreds of people.
But leave it to
She's the
Trump.
one that signs off
She
on
was
that
the one
number.
fudging the numbers. And then even after she was fired, they had to go back and correct the numbers for May and June, which ended up being even lower than what was first reported.
Oh, so you're saying the 75,000 jobs that she reported that Trump fired her over because he did not like the sound of that and how it spoke to the failure of his administration was actually the fudged number that was better than what it actually was, because they had estimated it'd be like 140,000. It was like half of what they expected is for job growth.
Because the numbers for May and June were a lot lower than what was originally reported.
So they're even lower than what she put out.
Yes.
But there are hundreds of I've heard experts talk about there are hundreds of people in the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that work to come up with these numbers, and it's almost impossible to rig them the way that Trump suggested they were rigged.
There's no way you can rig it.
Yeah.
There's no way possible.
So I think
statistics are statistics.
I think he gets a statistic of 0 on that. For sure. The job growth.
And the thing is also, not to cut you off, Phil, but you also got to take a look at the effect that tariffs are already taking, not just on the economy, but on employment right now. Because a lot of companies are having to scale back their workforce in order to make up for what they're paying in the way of tariffs.
Especially auto parts companies.
Yes.
I think what's the one, the big
Mazda,
one? Detroit Axle's going bankrupt now.
Yeah, and Mazda, they're scaling back their production in Japan. So now the assembly line that they have here in the U.S., they're actually trying to increase production there in order to make up for the tariffs.
Right.
Which is the goal.
Yeah.
Is to move the jobs here.
But not a single company is going to move jobs back as long as they have to deal with the corporate tax.
Right.
Which is going to eat into their profits.
And which are finally, they are going into effect as of just a couple of days ago, right? I mean, with all this forestalling and all this bullshit where he's relieved the tax, pulled it back, people made a bunch of money out the stock market, all his buddies. But now they're actually going into effect. And now we're really going to start to see, like we're seeing sneakflation already. Like we're not doing anything above what we normally do. And yet we're finding at the end of our pay cycle that we might have to dip into savings or something.
Yeah, and then things like you pick up a package, you pick up a pound of bacon. It's 12 ounces.
Right. There's all kinds of shit like already
that's
taking place.
Sneakflation because you're not paying attention. Then you're wondering why your pound of bacon doesn't work for the whole family anymore.
Yeah, and in the way of tariffs, take a look at how Trump just basically gave India the shaft, an extra 25% tariff because they're having to import Russian oil.
Yeah. Well, so I got to the point here Aaron must have had in mind, because there is an item on the form here about the wall. But I figured my feeling is, even though he established this idea of the wall, it's so ubiquitous and so essential to his. What is going on with the wall? Are they continuing to build?
He added 3 miles maybe of wall?
Yeah.
And
literally,
what wall's there? The Mexican people climb it over and back for sport.
It's probably got
And
it's like a climbing wall. It's like an
sometimes,
exercise thing.
sometimes they just take a sawzall and just cut a couple of.
So we're going to give them a 0 for that.
You
too, I
know,
think.
you know what I think. In response, Mexico should build a wall on their side. You know, to keep out the Americans that are going to
that's
try
the
and
other
get away
part.
with Trump.
They were going to build the wall, and Mexico was going to pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
they should put.
At this
they
point,
should
if I
build
was
it, but pay it on their side.
if I was Mexico, I'd just start putting up an electric fence and start laying down landmines.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd start bringing in manufacturing.
To limit where the Americans the ability of the Americans to escape.
Well,
All right,
well,
well-
the thing is, Trump's already declared war on immigration, so hell, why not?
Yeah.
Well, we got
Mexico, call us. We got ideas.
20 minutes left. We got to keep to a tight schedule because of out of respect to the
Because of,
antisocial
antisocial
network that we're
network.
on.
No problem.
But I got one more item. We'll do immigration policy that only targets criminals. I think that's a 0. Or not, a
Absolutely.
-2,
big
maybe.
old 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're just pulling anybody.
I didn't know
off.
negatives were an option. We could have had negatives before this.
Yeah, we could
Just
have
keep
had-
it as 0.
Well, I just threw in a negative
We'll
2
keep it.
last time, just for the hell of it.
It
So
slid
we
by
can
me.
stick to 0.
he's at a fraction anyway. I mean, like if you got a 2.5, that's not a bad score. You know,
Negative
that's
2
what
might
they
have
tell
been
me
when I
at
was
work.
frozen.
They tell me at work, I go in and they're like, "Oh, you know what? This is not a bad score." And I'm like, this is like a 1.5 less than it was. Oh, that's not a bad score. They're just not wanting to pay me more. So
I do my best.
all right.
I want me arrested, not him.
I think that with the immigration thing, it's so obvious that they're not all criminals. I mean, they're going to Home Depot. They're disguising themselves in U-Haul trucks and jumping out, and surprising people. They're sending pregnant women there to not Alligator, Alcatraz, hopefully, which is a total concentration camp where people are getting tortured and subjected to, eating maggot-infused tuna or whatever the fuck they feed them. But pretty obvious that they're not holding to this this idea that they're just criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was an alligator Alcatraz, I'd just break down my bed and stab alligators and eat.
So I think that's a 0.
Set the place
right?
on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that a 0 for everybody?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think he needs to be fired. Looking at this, he hasn't met any of these goals.
Mhm.
Not even showed any real impetus towards. I said impetus, not
I'm aware, hun.
showing
I love
any,
that word. It's very sexy.
towards really working towards these goals. I mean, he has no sense of urgency. He doesn't seem to be loyal to our mission statement. The Declaration of Independence. I really don't see any reason to continue to keep this man employed. What do you guys think?
No. And the thing is too, like I said before, is how he and his acolytes just keep wiping their ass with the Constitution.
Yep.
Right.
0.
I invited him, but he didn't even respond. So he's not going to be able to say anything.
Yeah, he didn't
about
come to
us.
his employee review.
But all right. So we got our fuck ups of the fortnight, and we'll try to run through these pretty quick. We got how much time we got? We got 15 minutes. That should be good. Got to leave enough time to put a few of the pithy comments in there. But how about our first matchup of round 1? Dean Cain becoming an ICE agent versus Dr. Phil doubling down on the idea that criminals are being targeted. Criminals only are being targeted in ICE raids. He said that last night on Bill Maher.
Yeah, he also said it when he went on an ICE raid. He went on exactly one ICE raid where they actually did arrest a criminal during the day, and they weren't wearing the masks. They didn't throw a thing over his head and drag him into a truck.
Well, he also participated in the Nazi style
rally
at
Golden
New York.
New York, yeah. Madison Square Garden.
Remember that before was it after the election? It was after the election.
I've lost respect for Madison Square Gardens
before
by
the
way.
inauguration. that clearly mimicked the Nazi rally that the American Bund held there in like 1939. It was a clear callback to that. They had comedians that come on and made racist jokes and poked fun at immigrants. It was undeniably
Uncomfortable.
fascist.
Definitely not woke in any
And
way,
Phil
shape, or
spoke
form.
at that. So anyway, I've prejudiced your opinion, but which one of those things is most important, Aaron?
What was the other one?
Dean Cain became
Dean Cain.
Superman became an ICE agent.
Yeah, that's just par for his course. Let's go with the other one, the big long.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Phil.
Dr.
Yeah.
Phil.
I'm going to go Dr. Phil.
Okay, that's a sweep.
Even though I'm really disappointed in Superman.
Well, turns out he's
You haven't been following him then for the last.
Oh yeah, no, I don't follow anybody. I don't care in that respect.
All right, here's second matchup, round one. J.D. Vance denying there was an Epstein strategy meeting, the recent presser, versus Trump firing the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics for reporting.
It's a
poorly.
no-brainer for me.
Accurately.
The labor statistics firing is much scarier.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
3.
I agree. He fired somebody for telling the truth.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
That is a
Fire
telltale.
someone for doing their job.
Over JD Vance just being JD Vance.
I saw it in meme form, which I don't like to quote the most often, but basically he didn't fire her because she lied. He fired her so he can put someone in who will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Representative Corey Mills of Florida with a litany of violent issues despite receiving government contracts versus Texas Governor Greg Abbott ordering quorum. I'm having trouble actually saying
Quorum.
defying senators to be arrested for refusing to vote in redistricting. Now, what was that?
That's the gerrymandering in Texas.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
But what does that? Ordering quorum defying senators.
The quorum. They need 100 people to have the vote.
Right.
So all the Democrats left the state.
Right.
Yep.
All right. Good
And
for
he's
them.
threatened to arrest them.
Yeah. They're in
Right.
Illinois and New
Good for
York.
them.
And they're within their rights to.
JB
do so.
Pritzker, the Illinois governor, was on Colbert the other night. And, he's talking about how come on to Illinois, we're a safe haven, we'll protect you.
Yeah, they're pretty defiant.
The Texas law doesn't apply there.
Yeah, I heard another rep. I can't remember her name.
Lost connection.
Senator Mike. Okay. This is Corey Mills, having violent issues. What are his violent issues?
Well, I think there's some sexual assault.
Okay.
Some of these common
And
things.
he still
that
gets
Republicans
government contracts versus Texas Governor Greg Abbott and the gerrymandering.
Yeah,
Abbott.
I got to go gerrymandering.
Me
Yep,
too.
got to go Abbott.
So that's 3, and then I haven't chosen yet.
Gerrymandering versus violence with contracts.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Abbott also. So,
Okay. Which is kind of sad.
There's now up to 6 states that are going to be gerrymandering. I think only.
Well, and I mean, they've all
2
done
of
it.
them are-
That's true. Republican and Democrat, they all have done it when they were.
No, but I mean,
power.
they're explicitly having special elections to allow the redistricting, but only California's doing it only if Texas or another state does it first.
Yep.
it all kind of started. It didn't all. Gerrymandering goes back to the 1800s, I guess. But it really came to prominence when Ross Perot became a third-party candidate back in the late or early 90s, and that's when both Democrats and Republicans kind of came together and wrote up procedures where just gerrymandering can happen, and both sides have been taking advantage of it. But it's
usually
scary,
they do it every 10 years after the census.
After the census, right? To do it in between is really a great. I don't know.
Yeah, and here in Ohio, there were Democrats who tried to do it at 5 years, and that was blocked.
Yeah.
So,
Well, just remember, people, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio
And
is
that's what
one
the
fucked up
Republicans are after.
gerrymander too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Ohio has had a gerrymandering problem for forever. And
Yep.
in fact, there was an anti-gerrymandering mandate on the ballot, either this last vote or the one before, and it did not. It got tanked.
All right, I'm going to play this one before the last matchup here. This is a short video.
Mm-hmm.
Sydney Sweeney looks like an Aryan goddess. And the American Eagle Jeans campaign is blatant Nazi propaganda. I mean, watching that sultry little temptress squeeze into a Canadian tuxedo, 3 sizes too small, with her bouncy little fun bags on the screen staring at you, piercing through the core of your soul, with those ocean blue eyes that could resurrect the Fuhrer from his grave in Argentina, is something that should alarm every American citizen, because in America, beauty is not defined by whiteness. Oh no, it is defined by the number of victim groups of which you are a member. Skinny, attractive, blonde-haired, blue-eyed cisgender women descend from the slave daddy oppressors of this nation. And any man who cranks one out while thinking about a woman like this probably hates black people, probably hates gay people, and they certainly hate the diversity of our great nation. So I say, instead of simping for the Sydneys, we should be celebrating the Shaniquas. Instead of worshiping the hot, straight blonde, what about the obese alphabet, people with blue hair? They need love too. And to all the haters who say companies that go woke, go broke, I'd rather be poor than a f***ing Nazi.
You're listening? I was wrong. I was tweeting today and saw a clip of AOC saying that Sydney Sweeney ad was racist. And so I replied to it and I said, why do you care about this and ignore what matters most? Why, in all the times that you've called on Israel to stop, why have you never told Hamas to stop, told Hamas to surrender? Why would you ignore the St. Louis attack on that Jewish guy who had his car bombed? AOC tweeted back and said, dude, that's a deep fake, that Sydney Sweeney ad. You suck, in so many words.
So there he is admitting he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Chris Cuomo versus.
There were a lot of
versus
there were a lot of
AI.
words and phrases in there that AOC would never use.
Well, the point, that was an AI clip. Somebody should have been
Now,
able to.
Is
There's
the
enough.
Sydney Sweeney ad a deep fake?
No.
Or okay,
No, it's
that's
legit.
real.
It's a commercial for
Okay.
American Eagle jeans, and she's come out as
Yeah.
Trump supporter, and the implication is
My
that
jeans are blue.
right, it's a eugenic.
So we're
message,
doing this one and
right?
not Mike Flood versus
Well,
Articles 9 and 11 of the.
I figure Chris
We're going to
Cuomo,
mention those.
Chris Cuomo versus Articles 9
Oh,
and
okay.
11.
Okay. So Chris Cuomo gets taken down by a deep fake versus Articles 9 and 11 being omitted from the copy of the Constitution on government websites. Now, remind me what
First
are
I'm
9
hearing
and
about
11?
this.
Ed, Will, did you hear what I just said?
Not a word. You guys dropped. I've been having this issue for a while today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Senator Flood.
Kill your video, Will. That
No,
might help.
never mind. Ignore Senator Flood. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, you do it.
All right. Chris Cuomo, in the clip we just saw where he mistook an AI video of AOC versus Articles 9 and 11 being omitted from the copy of the Constitution on the government website. They were caught with those two articles having been removed. I guess they thought that they were sexual predators and presidents had been impeached or something, because they did that also. They removed Trump from the list of presidents impeached at the Smithsonian.
At the Smithsonian.
They redacted him.
But
the Smithsonian put him back in.
But yeah, I mean, okay, so they omitted those two articles, and I wish I had read what they pertain to.
Okay.
Versus Chris Cuomo.
Basically, any alteration of the Constitution takes precedence.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
one for that.
Uh-huh.
What about you, Aaron?
Okay. Article 9 addresses the rights retained by the people, stating that the enumeration of certain rights in the Constitution does not deny or disparage others retained by the people. Article 11, on the other hand, pertains to suits against states, clarifying that the judicial power of the United States doesn't extend to suits commenced or prosecuted against a state by citizens of another state or foreign subject. So how do these two help him?
Article 9 is the one that places limits on the powers of Congress.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Article 11.
Yeah, I need to research more on that one.
Limits federal court jurisdiction.
I guess the
over
overriding
state
point is they're
lawsuits.
fucking with the Constitution or a copy of the Constitution. It's available to the people. So
they're trying to whitewash the Constitution like they're trying to whitewash history.
Right.
Yeah.
So what say ye, Aaron?
Yeah, the Constitution one. This story's new to
Now,
me.
this says, what is Article 9? Okay. Powers denied Congress.
We got 3
No
minutes.
capitation or other direct tax shall be laid unless in proportion to the census. Oh, so it's about gerrymandering and taxes.
All right. So I'm going to go with
Yep.
Cuomo because I'm going to tell you why. Because he's a centrist, and I'm having a problem. I'm having a problem with centrists. Dr. Phil's not a centrist anymore. Stephen A. Smith,
Bill
Bill Maher. Now Cuomo's been that way for a while. Guys that are like, well, you got to give him this, or it's unfair to treat him this way, or you got to get credit where it's due, and maybe and it's like no, you don't want to reinforce.
Philip, can I allow you to give him an end?
I will
Any
tell you,
small
man,
victory-
every 4 years,
The
the
enemy.
Democrats choose the most centrist candidate in the long list, and that's who
Yeah.
runs.
You're
Yeah,
probably right.
The next guy on the list.
Biden was the most centrist.
It's like almost
Obama
everybody.
was the most centrist.
Okay, we got to move on. We got 3 minutes.
Well, what do you got? The score's 2-1. Which one do you choose?
Hillary was the most
The
centrist.
Constitution.
Okay, so Constitution moves on.
I'm sorry about the centrist, but Constitution.
That's fine, sweetie.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
He's
It's,
wanted
for
to
me,
make a
it's the
point.
Constitution. Yeah. Because he's trying to get rid of it.
All right, we got just under 2 minutes.
All right, Dr. Phil versus Erica Mantaffer, the getting fired.
NRBL.
Yeah, her getting fired, definitely.
Labor Relations Board, NLRB.
Okay, and then Governor Abbott versus the Constitution. Governor.
Oh,
Abbott.
Constitution for me.
So
Abbott's more blatantly breaking the Constitution. The other one's just kind of not showing it all.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Abbott too.
Yeah.
So that's a sweep.
I'll go ahead and leave it at Constitution.
It's at Trump's orders too, but
Yep.
Okay, but still Abbott.
said, we're entitled to 5 more seats, is the way he put it.
Yeah.
So it was 3-1 for Abbott.
Okay.
All right, so here's our championship. We got firing the director of statistics because he didn't like the jobs report. Trump didn't like the jobs report versus Governor Abbott trying to break the court or trying to bring the quorum back in.
Abbott.
Yeah, this is
Abbott.
This
Because
is a battle of two evils, but you got to go Abbott.
Abbott.
Yep.
I go Abbott.
Yeah, we'll make that a sweep.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
That's our show.
All right, we made it in time.